Nashville is of course the Batman building, which used to be the AT&T Bell South building.
Uh-huh.
But when you get to like Lower Broadway, that's just like our little whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's just Bar Central. There's bars everywhere.
Like Kid Rock owns one. You know.
Oh wow, Kid Rock owns one.
Big and Rich owns one. Blake Shelton. A lot of these, yeah. There's just
okay. So
it's like a bar and a restaurant together. Like they have like different things together.
Well, one thing Texas is known for is hunting and fishing. Where are some good places to go hunting and fishing in Tennessee?
Well, Tennessee's got, a lot of people go hunting. Like, if you're in the country, you live in the country, like Ashland City or White House, you could probably go hunting there pretty easily.
I'm not surprised that Texas is known for hunting and fishing and all that. Because,
yeah.
I mean, you guys know if your guns.
Yeah, we shoot boars, we shoot pigs, you can legally shoot those all year round. Now, if you're talking about deer season, that doesn't start till November 1st, but October 1st you're hunting with a bow, like bow season. And then November 1st you can hunt white-tailed deer. You just can't shoot the does like when they're babies. You can They have to be a full-grown deer.
Okay. Yeah, there's some things to do in Nashville. I mean, it's.
But the problem is that if you're coming as a family,
yeah,
Nashville really isn't a family-oriented town.
Okay.
I worked there for a few years, so I would know this. I mean, when I used to work down there, people would ask me all the time, is there any place that I can bring my kids? And I'm like, well, you can bring them to the park. We have a couple parks around here.
Speaking of which, we have Centennial Park, which has actually got...
And the Parthenon.
The Parthenon, which actually has the second rep of the statue of Athelina.
Mm-hmm.
Athena.
So it's like a really big statue.
It's a very tall statue.
Very tall statue. So it's actually pretty cool in that little...
But that stuff is kind of somewhat outset from downtown Nashville itself. But mostly what's in Nashville is hotels and bars. Hotels and bars. And restaurants. But mostly hotels, bars, and restaurants.
And there's a big porn store in Nashville.
What's it called?
Well, I mean, that's kind of like in every city,
But now, here's the thing about ours. Nashville has a Hustler Hollywood. And right next to Hustler Hollywood, I shit you not, is a strip club.
What?
Here's an oxymoron for you, okay?
Yeah, here you go.
Our Hustler Hollywood porn shop is located on Church Street, which intersects Gay Street. So all the churches are on Gay Street. and all the gays are on Church Street. We have some what is it? A place called Club Play, which is where all the
it's like a drag show.
A drag show place. It's located on Church Street.
Okay.
It's literally, it crosses, and it's hilarious because you have all the good fun stuff happening on Gay Street and Church Street. It's like the complete opposite of each other.
So when you said all the,
there's also a thing in Nashville called Music Row where you can see a lot of music places.
You used to. They're tearing Music Row down now.
Well, there used to be studios around that area, and
you want to know what's wild is the fact that it's not that I have nothing positive to say about Nashville. It's just that they have taken away a lot of the good history of Nashville, what made Nashville in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we have a lot of manufactured builders coming in through town with a lot of investing going on.
New mayor's trying to stop.
And it's like they're putting tiny homes, box homes that are literally manufactured garbage right in the smack dab in the middle of town, costing like, $250,000 or more, per box and all that kind of shit.
Same thing. It's almost going on here in Houston right now. It's like they're basically destroying.
They're building shit on top of shit, and they have no infrastructure to keep it together.
What the theory is, right? Is they're trying to push everybody out, and they're trying to build it into a mega city. That's what they're doing in California right now with LA. Is they're kicking all the residents out of California. And they're trying to bring rich foreigners in that invest in those properties, and they're trying to push everybody out. Like right now, we have a big homeless problem in Houston, and guess what? Most of our homeless are not from here. They're from Cali. They're coming over here.
one thing was, I actually liked some of. There was a couple years ago before that female mayor we had came in and ruined a bunch of shit, and when she got caught cheating on her husband, who was a professor at Vanderbilt, and
she got caught cheating on her with her security guard in a fucking graveyard.
In a graveyard,
about 10 miles south of here. More than she is. Yeah.
More story was the homeless people decided to build their own community. They built their own place, which I thought was pretty smart. I was like, wow, they have their own little community.
They weren't doing anything wrong. They weren't doing anything wrong. And she wanted them out because they were making the city look bad.
Yeah, she wanted them out. So now they're all spread out. And
do you guys get panhandlers there?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a problem all over the country.
Well,
I know it is.
Panhandlers here, and I see them all the time because I watch them. And what I see them do is when I see them wear a pair of Jordans and I see them with those big giant cell phones.
Yep.
I know that you're not a panhandler. I know you're fucking faking them.
Dude, if you go downtown to Houston, you see a lot of panhandling, and of course in the poorer parts, the older part of Houston, the Fifth Ward, the First Ward, Third Ward, like that's been built in the 1930s. So when you drive in those areas, which is predominantly around the downtown areas where you predominantly see most of these panhandlers. I live in the outskirts of Missouri City, what you would call the suburbs, the surrounding. Now what they're doing is they're tearing all those old properties down. Investors are buying up the land. They're paying these people, and they're tearing down the properties of these ghettos or these projects. They're tearing them down, putting businesses, and they're kicking the homeless out, and they're sending them to our areas on the outer skirts. They're pushing them away. So when I went to the store the other day, I saw a bunch of panhandlers out there, and I said, what the fuck? Because this is like the suburbs. I'm like, I'm like, you guys, I thought I got rid of you because, like, I'd moved out of the hood, and the last thing I need is you motherfuckers come following me. I said, what the fuck is this shit? And they're panhandling now in the front of my store, just right outside the area. Yeah. It's like, wow. So, and then my dad said, yeah, they're pushing them out. Huh?
Some of them get violent.
Oh, man, not only that, they start bothering you. They start cursing you out if you don't give them money and this, and that's like, it's just, I understand some of them need help, but some are on drugs too.
A lot of them are on drugs.
Most of them are.
Some of these panhandlers have even made the news as far as other, like, businesses trying to offer them jobs. And they say, well, I won't take this job because I make more money doing this than I will ever.
They make more money. They make just as much money bumming than they do working for that.
Yeah.
And speaking of Tennessee, one thing a lot of people don't know is that Tennessee is a great distribution state. Which we have a lot of.
No, it's not Tennessee. Nashville. Nashville is a big manufacturing city because it's a big circle. They're the way our interstate looks is like, you look at Nashville as a dot. Okay, we have a line going this way. We have a line going this way. Literally like this with a circle in the middle.
Okay.
So anything that goes in goes out. Anything that comes out goes in.
So it's easy to bring drugs.
It's easy to bring drugs in and out of Nashville all the time. We're also very big with human trafficking too, which really sucks.
Big thing here too, which is also another bad thing too, because younger girls are being picked up for human trafficking now.
Yeah, I know, and that's unfortunate, man. It really is.
And the one time that they do it the most is during the Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, yeah. They put them in the little buses and stuff, and you can go in there for a certain amount of money and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that shit goes on. It is. So let me ask you guys a question. Do y'all, I know we talked about the ghost sightings and all that and haunted houses, so I thought that was a pretty cool topic to dig into. Do you guys believe in, like, Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster or stuff like that, folk tales like that?
I will actually be honest with you. A lot of people don't know this about me. I don't think I ever told you, Steven. I'm a big avid shark lover. I've studied sharks ever since I was a kid. I still believe this, and some people are going to think I'm a crazy guy for this. I still believe that the
Megalodon, yeah, that big, huge, giant shark.
I still believe it exists because people got to think, oh, well, it's in the warm waters. There is the thing called the Mariana Trench. There is still life underneath the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, I mean, the water goes real deep, and some of those fish can't come up here because of the pressurized water. If they come up, they die.
Exactly. So we can't really go. We can go probably as low as 7,000 feet.
Yeah, we can't go any further because then they can't come up. So it's kind of like there's a.
I think there's a whole other world. I think when the world ended, and like the world's ended quite a few times, but when they went extinct, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that there's a whole other world down there, and it's a perfect place to hide. Because I also look at it too. There's a lot of whales that are just floating in the ocean now. Like it's almost like they're halfway eaten, and then you see great whites and other fish and other sharks taking bites out of them. But what you don't know is how the hell did they get like that?
When Trump talked about building a space force, one of the theories was that Trump was receiving information that there were alien spaceships on the moon and that he wants to build a space force to take them out.
Let me just say this, clarify this. When they were about to have that Area 51 thing that everybody was doing, haven't you find it ironic that when they were about to do that, this whole impeachment shit came up? Right when they were about to...
Do you remember the Area 51?
Yeah.
The Roswell and all that, yeah.
Like, they were literally going to have... Like, this one kid, I think it was a fucking teenager on Facebook, wanted to do a thing trying to get close to Area 51.
Mm-hmm.
We made a whole big deal about it. Mm-hmm. There were signs. There were people making T-shirts. It was going to be a big whole thing. And on that day, what happens? The impeachment thing comes about.
This whole whistleblower.
The whistleblower thing comes about. It's like, okay, why are they focused? They were focusing all on this. Now they're focusing on this. What are they distracting us from? 9 times out of 10, they always say whatever's going on up in the air. If they say that just pay attention to what's going on up in the sky, something's going on the ground level. Now, and if they say to pay attention to what's going on the ground level, there's something going on up in the sky.
Now, Stephen, you being a history buff like I am, you might know this. A lot of people don't know this, and if these people that are protesting about getting Trump out of office and this and that, there's 2 things that people don't know. Number one, if Trump wanted to, he can throw out the clause where he can keep running as president and no one can stop him. There is a clause where he can do that if he wanted to. Number 2, if there is also in the Constitution that if the government becomes a tyrant, that we as American citizens can overthrow our government. And a lot of them don't understand that, and they don't.
A lot of it's the baby boomer generation that are very old school.
Yeah.
Don't see... I mean, now, don't get me wrong. I've got family that's very much, they do support our president, and I do too.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
And, the thing about it is there's family out there who don't. And they think that, I don't want to get into all of this.
Yeah.
Much deeper discussion. The thing about it is that the government is watching and listening all the time. I know they are.
So let me ask you guys this. Mel and Kev, do you believe in extraterrestrial life forms? Do you believe we're alone on the Earth? I mean, the universe?
No. In fact, me and him were just having a discussion about this tonight.
Okay.
We were out at dinner, and we were talking about this very subject, as a matter of fact. And I told him, I'm like, there's no way in hell that we're the only human beings. We're the only life form in the universe. There's no way, because the universe is infinite. We don't know how big the universe is. We just know that it goes and goes and goes. Or for all we know, this big black wall, and all we see is just stars. We don't know what the fuck they are. We're just sitting on this earth, doing this thing that we do as humans. And,
I'm starting to believe that I don't really think that aliens look like aliens that you see like on these movies.
No.
What do you think they look like if you were to picture them in your mind? Or guesstimate?
Well, I think that they could possibly, who knows? They could
I think that aliens are, I think to us, we are aliens to them.
And it's the same vice versa.
Right. Because they look at us like, ew. and we look at them like, it's just because we're different.
Do you think they've tried to make contact? Do you think the government's hiding it from us?
I believe that the aliens have made contact with Earth on many, many, many different occasions, and I do believe there's some probably in Area 51. I believe there's a lot of things going on in that place that we'll never find out about.
Have you ever noticed with Area 51 that a lot of the army aircrafts are starting to look like spacecrafts? Almost like they almost made it. The designs are looking like that, and that to me makes me think that they got aliens inside Area 51. They got their spaceships, and they're making models of what these spaceships look like, but making it more American.
If you've got the money, you can do anything. Money and power can make you do anything you want to do. I believe we've been visited by other intelligent life forces out there. I also believe that we have, people of alien descent of some. So I believe that there are people on this planet, whether they're alien people or not. Yeah.
Okay, so next question goes to both of you, but I think I'm gonna let Mel answer first, and then Kev backpedal. There's a reason for it. Kev believes that nobody ever landed on the moon. Now I'm gonna have him go further into the whole who he thinks Neil Armstrong is. Is he just somebody they named? I'm gonna have him go into that. But do you believe personally we landed on the moon?
No.
So you don't believe it either. So that whole Neil Armstrong guys is sort of like a front, or
I think it's just a story that they had to come up with to make us see, because we haven't been to the moon since. And I look at it like, well, I'm not trying to say that the man didn't go someplace, but I think we haven't been back there since. And allegedly, the moon that we see in the sky isn't even our actual moon.
Really?
Yeah, there's supposedly we have 2 moons. Yeah, I don't know all of that yet entirely. I haven't looked into all of that, but I've heard theories that we have 2 moons.
That's fascinating. If so, because if we have another moon, I don't know where it would be. I've never seen it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, because if you've ever looked at the moon on different variations of like throughout the year, it's a different size. It's a different color.
I've noticed that.
One night I was driving somewhere and I noticed the moon it was supposed to be a full moon. It did not look full to me.
Okay.
It actually looked like there was a curve in it. It didn't look normal to me. And I really wanted to take a photo of it, but my camera, obviously my camera on my phone wouldn't have allowed that, but it just didn't look right. This is fascinating to you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because Kim talks about this too. That's why it's cool to meet other people who share the same beliefs.
We talk about this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I don't believe it is the same thing. We haven't been back since. When I look at it, like since the time that Neil Armstrong supposedly went, we got more technology now. We got more stuff in our arsenal. So if we haven't been, why don't we do it now? Since we got more, we got a lot more tech stuff. We got a lot more stuff.
Especially if we can't do it, we know Japan can, because they are way more high tech advanced than we are, obviously. Somebody on this planet knows how to get out off of this planet somehow.
Well, I mean, we have a space station. We got Space Center here in Houston and in Florida.
I know we've been to space. I know we've seen. Well, it's not space. I know we've been above the Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah.
But as far as to the moon, no.
But it's crazy because the moon, if I looked at the distance, I've done the calculations, it's saying it's a 3.5 day, 4 day ride. That's not that far. I mean, if you have we have the technology, why don't we do this?
But the thing about it, though, is we haven't. If we've been to the moon, we have not been back since. If we are able to go, why aren't we going more often? Do you remember at the time when they were doing applications for people to go to Mars?
Yes. Yes.
And then all of a sudden that disappeared? Nobody talks about that anymore? It's like, so was it real or was it not? Do we have the ability to do that or not?
Yeah, because I know the Mars is like I heard a 4-year trip. No, 4-month trip. 4-month trip.
Yeah, but they said that a lot of people that were signing up for it were told that once they go, they don't come back.
Oh, fuck that. I mean, if I'm going to go, I want to come back. But I know if you're going to Mars and it's a 4-month trip plus 4 months back, that's 8 months of your time. you're probably not going to stay a week. You're probably going to stay twice the amount of the time it takes to travel. So it's probably going to be a 3-year plan if you're going to go, or at least a 2-year plan.
I don't know, but
It would have to be.
I don't think that would even be possible, to be honest with you, because there's no life on Mars.
But speaking to answer your one question earlier, that I believe there's like a Bigfoot or a Loch Ness monster. I don't know.
Sasquatch or the missing link or blah, blah, blah. Some people try to say Bigfoot's the missing link of man, you know, like that one missing link.
I don't know. I mean, there's some people that do believe in it, but there's I've seen some pictures of what looks like the Loch Ness monster.
What do y'all personally believe? Do y'all believe in Bigfoot? Loch Ness monster?
Not really.
No.
No, I just think it's just, just something for entertainment purposes to get people.
Okay, well, I know this would probably be a stupid question, so y'all probably don't believe in stuff like werewolf, Dracula, stuff like that.
I believe in werewolves, and I believe in vampires.
I do believe in vampires, but I don't think that they're going around.
I don't believe that they're the way that they are in the movie, the entertainment world. I think they're a lot different. I mean, that's just fake fantasy stuff.
So they're not from Romania or nothing like that? Transylvania or whatever?
I believe Transylvania. There is a Transylvania.
There is a Transylvania. Yeah. There was a guy named Dracula who actually did at one point suck human blood. Okay. He did. He was a big warrior. He was a king of this castle. But if you look him up, he actually
Transylvanian Romania is real.
Yeah, it's like
Vlad. Fuck, I forgot his technical name, but yeah. He did exist at one point.
Now, the werewolf thing, I think people get the syndrome where they get too much hair on them. Like, they get the werewolf syndrome where they get, like, some hair on them and stuff like that. I do believe in stuff like that. I mean, I do think that some people who claim they're vampires said that they have drained blood, but the others, like, suck on energy. Like, they suck on people's energy, like life energy. So there's all different kind of things out there with it, but I do think that there was at some point one of those.
So if we do sign up to go, if they do take sign-ups to go to the moon, would you guys be interested?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Do you think there's something there on the moon?
I think there's something there on the moon that they don't want to show. That's what I think. I think there's something on the moon.
I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that there's something going on that we just don't know about, and we probably never will.
So let's put it like this. Trump wants to go to the moon. Do you see that happening? Let's say he wins the next election. Do you see that happening before his second term's up?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because remember how he was trying to get the Kennedy files out, right?
Yeah.
And then when he got so close, they took the rug from underneath him. So no matter what Trump wants to do, they're going to find some way to block it.
And that's basically what Kim was telling me about Trump, is he said, ultimately he's just the man there, but he does not run anything. Like there's other people that are running the country. Well, he says it's elite families.
There's the Brooke brothers. There's the
Bilderberg.
The Bilderberg. There's the hierarchy of people that are in the Illuminati. Like when you see Jay-Z do this, or you see Beyonce do like this, those are signs of the Illuminati. There's people that are powerful.
I've been heavily into conspiracy theories for quite some time now. And
here's something for you. The Clinton family has gotten away with murder.
Oh, yeah, they have, yeah.
And why do you think that Hillary Clinton has not been charged for anything that she did? It's right there.
Because before they could even charge her, they're either killed or they're threatened.
Exactly. And people don't know this, but Bernie Sanders actually won that Democratic debate against her in 2016.
Oh, he did. He crushed her.
And she paid off the DNC for her to go in.
Damn.
So, I mean, you can say what you want. Some people were Hillary supporters that were Bernie supporters switched over. But honestly, I would look at it like this. Why would you want to support a woman that basically fucked over this guy?
There are so many people out there now, though, that are literally starting to finally figure it out. Mm-hmm.